As temperatures continue to soar across the country, we're looking at the farming sector in Limpopo, where we understand that, Agri-Limpopo, which is a farming body, has recently announced that the agricultural sector is taking a negative toll resulting from the heat wave, as well as the decision by Eskom to implement stage 6 load shedding. We are going to talk to a farmer here who operates in Polokwane, that is Lefosi Makgahlela. Thank you for your time on SABC News. Looking at the impact, let's start with the heat wave. Has it taken any excessive toll, on your crops?
Okay. In the last few days, we've been experiencing excessive heat here around Dalmada and also Polokwane as a whole, and that has actually had a bad impact on our tomatoes. We've been seeing tomatoes with skin damages that has been caused by the heat wave, and that also affect our quality, or the quality of our products, and also the yield that we produce. I mean, the number of boxes that we are able to send to the market has dropped drastically due to these heat waves, and mainly because a lot of tomatoes that we pick we are not able to send to the market.
And how does the heat affect irrigation?
The biggest challenge with the heat is that immediately after the heat in the afternoon or early in the morning, you need to start irrigating. But where problems comes is when there's load shedding. So when you want to irrigate at night, for example, you find that there's no electricity from 9 to 1 or from 1 to 5, meaning that you won't be able to irrigate you at night. But unfortunately, you can't say when the plants are stressed because of the heat wave, you start to irrigate them. The water will also be hot because they are coming from the pipes that are laying on the ground that is very hot.
Now, we understand that you supply markets such as the Johannesburg market. Has this affected the quantity that you send out in any way, both the heat wave as well as stage 6 load shedding?
Well, with regards to the first part of the heat wave, that has reduced the number of tomatoes that we were able to send to the market, because our tomatoes were affected by the heat, and when it's too hot, the plants are stressed and you can't get enough harvest from your crops. But again, on the issue of Eskom, if there's load shedding, especially at night, we are unable to irrigate, and tomatoes need a lot of water, especially when we are at the harvesting stage, to be able to become red. So that has been a bit of a challenge to us. So those things have affected us negatively, and also our output going to the market has dropped drastically.
And the area that you operate in, Polokwane, we know it experiences constant, water issues. Does that also come into play in terms of how it impacts on your overall operation?
The last few months has been very difficult on our farm. We rely on borehole water, and when it comes to this time of the year, especially if we don't get enough rain as early as around September or so, our borehole water tables start to go down, meaning we are unable to get enough water to irrigate. And also, again, you find that the recovery rate at which the borehole can be able to recover once you finish pumping the water from the borehole, it becomes longer. So that has also affected our operation. I can also tell you that we have lost over 50,000 head of cabbages that we could not harvest because we had no water, and we had to choose between irrigating the tomato and also irrigating the cabbage, and we decided that let's allow the cabbage to become a loss, and then we will recover that from the tomato, because tomatoes you harvest for a longer period, while when it comes to cabbage it's only once harvest and that's it.
Mr. Lefosi Makgahlela, thank you very much for your time. We're in conversation there with a farmer, Lefosi Makgahlela, who is a tomato and cabbage producer, but says that his operations have been negatively impacted, of course, by the skyrocketing temperatures that have been observed in large parts of the country as well as Limpopo, adding there that it has not become easy since the decision by Eskom to implement stage 6. Meanwhile, the farming body Agri-Limpopo has called on for government intervention following the decision there to implement stage 6.